Why do villains never have a nose? Kara 11 years ago. That is a serious question. What is it about noses that bad guys don't like? Why do the Hollywood movie producers think that having no nose makes you scarier or less friendly looking? I have been noticing more and more that the villains in movies usually have no nose. It is not all the time, but it is enough for me to start noticing a pattern. Don't believe me? See for yourself.
I don't know why it's starting to do that. Out of place. You come from the sea. And looky there, right? Do you need a nose when you're from the sea? Just a question, right? Do you need a nose when oxygen, that gas we call oxygen, is harmful to you? So you always appear in a helmet? And reducing the world's population then is in your favor, right? Because less people to put out CO2, which then feeds the trees, if that's the case, and less, what's that fish that the whales eat? Because I forget that certain fish they talk about the whales eat, they also produce oxygen. So we got to kill those off by polluting the oceans, right? Which then kills the whale, which is one of the creatures specifically the book of Genesis tells you the Most High created. So it's odd, right? You think about that, the creation, right? In the beginning, the Most High said, "Let there be." So, sound, right? Because speech, right? It's sound, it's vibration. Was there in the beginning, right? Before light, before all that. And yet these people choose to worship the light, right? The speed of sound is faster than the speed of light. So they purposely choose to follow after a lesser thing. But they have the knowledge, right? They bring you out of the darkness into light. Talk about corrupting, talk about an ego trip. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why so many villains have noses, and I think it goes back to Lucifer's Kingdom Under the Sea, the book. And it reminds me of The Simpsons and what the Freemasons that wrote up those episodes were trying to tell you when they say that, when Lisa Simpson took office, she was worried about replenishing the ocean. What happens to the ocean water? What's the plans for that? In Italy, an Italian car maker built a car that runs off of salt water. How long until that's what they're going to use to fuel their cars? And will that be enough to deplete the ocean? And then what does that reveal? Those slave ship stories was a bunch of BS.